Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another quick video. All right, y'all, back with some real quick boxing / MMA news here from the tail end of last week. I was going to do this video earlier, but just kind of busy and just wanted to get my thoughts together on this one and just kind of do it on the fly. But as y'all know, Jake Paul, he called out Conor McGregor to a boxing match. You know, he wanted to get him in there, make a large amount of money, of course, and knock out Conor McGregor. And, of course, Dana White, he kind of responded. I don't know if this was really a joke or how serious he was, because I don't really know how serious you can take Dana White. But, you know, Dana White said he would put Amanda Nunes in the boxing ring to knock out Jake Paul. So Amanda Nunes, she responded saying, hey, Dana put me in the boxing ring and I'll knock him out. Not the octagon, but the boxing ring. She said she would actually get into a boxing match with Jake Paul and knock him out. So, you know, a lot of people, they've been talking about this. I've seen people making comments, you know, making videos about it as well. And I just kind of want to give you my thoughts on the reality of Amanda Nunes getting in there with Jake Paul real quick, man. But I'd like to see Nunes knock out Jake Paul, of course. I'd like to see her knock him out, even in the street. You know, I'd like to see her do that. I'd like to see Conor McGregor knock him out. I'd like to see Conor McGregor get into a boxing match with him. I think Conor McGregor could actually beat him. But the reality of seeing Amanda Nunes in a boxing match with Jake Paul, you know, with 2-minute, 3-minute rounds for 5, 6, 7 rounds, no, I wouldn't want to see that. I still wouldn't want to see that matchup, man, because you got to remember there's still a big size difference here. Amanda Nunes has never been in a boxing ring against a professional fighter. You know, I still don't respect Jake Paul as a professional fighter, but they are putting these fights on his resume as a pro boxer, and he is training like a pro boxer with other professional fighters. So he is getting that sparring work. He is getting them sparring hours in with legit guys behind the scenes. So that does add up to something. I still have to factor that in. So when you look at that, plus his size, the guy's damn near cruiserweight, you know, and you put him in there with a featherweight champion in the MMA, from the female MMA world, the WMMA world, then come on, that's just a big mismatch. I know she knows her game, and it may look like more on her side, but when you put her in there in the boxing ring with a guy with a lot of sparring hours, with even only 2 professional fights, that's still a big mismatch for on her side. You know what I mean? That means she could still really get hurt in there. And then you got to just remember this: it's a man-woman. You know, there's still a difference between a man and a woman. That's what a lot of people have to understand. So whenever she says she wants to take on Jake Paul in a boxing match, there's still going to be a lot of red tape before that fight can happen. It's still going to be a situation where a lot of people are going to say they want to see it, and they want to see Amanda Nunes, this powerful woman, go in there, kick this man's ass. But it's not going to play out that way. And when she really gets hurt, then everybody's going to play that man beat a woman thing, you know. So it's definitely not a fight that should happen. But like I said, I would like to see her knock him out in some other sport, maybe MMA or like in the streets, but not in a boxing match. You know, she's not up to par to just go in there and knock out a man. I mean, like I said in the live stream, we've seen this before. Lucia Riker, she went in there against I think it was a Thai fighter, and you know, she was in there with the Muay Thai fighter, and I can't remember where at overseas. It might have been in Thailand, and she got brutally knocked out in that fight. You know, she went in there, took on a man, and she got brutally knocked out. So I could see the same thing happen to Amanda Nunes, going in here with a full-fledged cruiserweight that trains to be a boxer. You know, he throws punches like a boxer, not MMA strikes. So she could really get hurt in there. So, yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. And with that being said, too, with Amanda Nunes showing that energy to get into the boxing ring so much, then she should really turn her head to the opposite direction and look at Claressa Shields. You know, Claressa Shields is a legit boxer that she could take on. You know, that's a boxer in there that, you know, you match them up size-wise, hey, woman versus woman makes more sense, right? So why isn't she showing that type of fight more energy? And I think I know why. Because the Jake Paul fight is more like a default. If she was to lose that fight, then it would be like, oh, okay, it is what it is. Or at the same time, they could, you know, put more of a script to it together where she knows Jake Paul ain't going to go straight after her head like that. But she knows that if she gets in there with, you know, pound for pound best fighter in the world and Claressa Shields, then, and plus skill for skill, she knows that Claressa's going to take her to school and really beat her up in there. You know, there's a lot to lose on that Claressa Shields fight. But at the same time, that's the fight that she needs to really show that energy if she wants to get into the boxing ring. You know, if she really wants to make a lot of money in the boxing world and make a big statement as being like the baddest woman on the planet, then you think you would show that type of fight more energy. You know what I mean? Because I know whenever I just wanted to kind of bring that up, because I know whenever Amanda Nunes brought it up, like, oh, I get in the boxing ring against Jake Paul, why'd you even entertain that type of fight? But you wouldn't entertain Clarissa Shields whenever she called you out to a boxing match. You know, you would feel like, hey, I'm leaving my world of MMA. Why am I going to do that and get beat up in the against Clarissa Shields? You know, so yeah, it's just something I just wanted to bring up, man, because like I said, there's still a difference between man and woman, especially in the combat sports world. That's why we have MMA and WMMA, and we have boxing and we have women's boxing. You know, because Clarissa Shields, like I said, she's more on the that fight would make more sense, even though she does have more wins, more belts in the boxing world. Amanda Nunes' chances would be more on the level there. They'd be more on the level. She still have a chance to take on somebody like Clarissa Shields versus somebody like Jake Paul. I know he's 2-0, but he's still a man. He still packs that punch that I don't think Nunes could take. Again, this guy is like, he outweighs her by, 30, 40, 50 pounds. You know what I mean? And he's still training like a boxer. You know, so that's not a fight I would want to see. I know that Dana White probably was just joking around and that fight wouldn't happen. But again, like I said, if you want to conquer combat sports and you want to show that you're the baddest man or the baddest woman on the planet, you know, you gotta go for the fights that make sense. So yeah, Amanda Nunes, if she wanted to take on Clarissa Shields in a boxing match, all day long, I'll see that. You know, I'd like to see that more than Clarissa Shields come over to the UFC and fight Amanda Nunes right away. You know, that fight wouldn't fare well, because I still feel like Amanda Nunes would have enough hand game to make it interesting. And you know, again, like I said, that fight would be more on the even playing field. But yeah, man, that's all I got on this. Like I said, I just wanted to give you my quick thoughts on that situation. Like, I'm not even entertaining that as a fight, and I don't want a lot of, you know, young and up and comers or people to feel like somebody like Amanda Nunes, even though she is a two division world champion in MMA, feels like she can go in there and beat a man. You know, she still can't do that. You still can't do that. I mean, you can beat a lot of just average Joes on the street, but you can't beat a guy in there that's training full time as a boxer. You know, again, even though I don't respect the record as a boxer, you know, the guy still is, he still is training behind the scenes. I got to give him that. But yeah, guys, that's all I got on this one. Let me know what y'all thoughts on this. Y'all want to see Nunes and Shields fight? Conor McGregor go ahead and go in there and fight Jake Paul. Like I said, I don't even care about that fight. I just wanted to kind of revert Amanda Nunes back to Shields and you know, let everybody know that's the fight to make for women's boxing. Combo Breaker 99, I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.